Coming up on the wrap this week, Bobby's back. The South African Heroes returns to tell us how the Boks turned the series on its head.
So everyone's like, yeah, it's nice to have you, but we want to smash you 2-0.
I give you my key test takeaways. That's a championship tackle. And my own series against South Africa, challenge Hugo as his own decider on the dartboard. Well, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it? We've got Twitter accounts, we've got 62-minute midweek monologues and everything in between. And in the backdrop, all of that, Tokyo, Japan, the Olympic Sevens. Congratulations to Fiji men as well as the Black Ferns. And if you want to see what the best side of our rugby game's all about, check out Ruby Tui. Absolute legend. Her interview with Jill Douglas this week has gone viral. That is 2 minutes 20 of sheer gold.
Let's compete safely and peacefully. Peace and love. Love you guys.
Love you, Ruby. Absolutely love you. And after all of that, and the South African World Champions showed exactly why they are champions with a brilliant second half performance. Congratulations to South Africa. Looking back at Saturday, here are my second test takeaways. So my second test takeaways from Cape Town are fairly similar actually to last week. The South Africans did a lot of what they were trying to do last week a lot better, and that starts with the set piece. It's fundamental to any level of any game, and in that second test, especially in the second half, they were brilliant. The substitution that Rassie Erasmus perhaps got wrong last week, he got right this week. Brought them on, especially that front row. The pressure and the penalties they were able to accrue from the scrum were massive, and the drive and more, it's such a big weapon for them. The likes of Lou Diaga, a World Cup winner who stands at just under 7 foot tall, them taking on the Lions in the line-out, gave them territory, it gave them pressure on the scoreboard, and gave Andre Pollard opportunities. Test matches are decided on moments, and Sia Khaleesi said afterwards it was probably one of the toughest weeks he's had in his professional career. How about him making that tackle on Robbie Henshaw? Beautiful kick from Conor Murray, the ball bounces, Henshaw gathers right about this point here, and Khaleesi, through sheer desperation, that's a championship tackle. Massive momentum swing for South Africa. Lions get their nose in front, where we saw what happened last week. Not the same story on Saturday. The third bit, which are both linked, the aerial game. As a back three member, you've got to be secure under there. And South Africa's high ball kicking, and the Lions' inability to be able to secure that ball, that just gives South Africa territory. Kick, compete, win that territory, gives them field position, and once they get into your final third, they're so difficult to contain. Desperation, set piece, aerial assault. You get those three things right in any game at any level, let alone a Lions series, you end up winning the game. So the pressure on Ben O'Keefe and his officials, as well as the TMO, Marius Jonker, was like no other. And of course, there were some 50-50 calls, some decisions that were debated, no doubt, for the next few days to come. So we've got Nigel Owens, one of the world's very best referees, to chat through some of the laws, not the rules. So, Nigel, it's over to you.
We'll have a look at the Duan van der Merwe yellow card first of all. A very good call by the officials here, I think, because you can't trip or kick a player. If you kick a player in a game of rugby, it's usually a red card. But what happens here, the ball is bouncing, Van der Merwe goes to kick it, but obviously the ball is gone and then he catches Colby, the player, with a kick. So it's a very sensible and a good decision by the officials then to give a yellow card for that. A bit more out of frustration and mistiming rather than any intent to kick a player. So a yellow card was a good decision.
Well, what a third test we have in store of us. It's gone down to the wire, 1-1, and last week we were chatting to Charles Brits. The week before, Bobby Skinstad. I'm thrilled to say we've got the great man back again.
How are you going, Ugs?
Good to see you and congratulations. The last time we chatted, you said it was so important for the World Champions to be able to back up what they did in 2019. They certainly did that, didn't they? What impressed you the most about that performance?
Khaleesi, I thought he was outstanding. I mean, he's not the world's quickest loose forward where he's going to have a 70-metre run. He's got to do lots of little things, and he was just always there. And he was top tackler, top assistant tackler, second in carries. I mean, amazing. I think he got backed up by a couple of his big players. Yep. Etzebeth was big and strong. He was a bit niggly, but didn't give away the penalties. Yep. He made the tackles. I think Lou Diaga came on. So our bench, I think, came on and did what the Lions did in the first test. I think that was probably the difference between the two sides. I do feel that South Africa, I'm not sure if it was luck or if it was design. I'm always going to give the credit to the coaching staff, but putting Franco Mostert onto the side of the scrum, giving themselves, shoring up the line out when the line out looked very vulnerable, changed the game. You know, suddenly, instead of losing their own ball, they were nicking ball off the lines.
Okay, looking ahead to the third test, the decider, so much at stake. We can't underestimate how big a game this is going to be. Saw the reaction from the Springboks this week. What kind of reaction do you think we're going to see from the Lions?
Look, I think the Lions will turn around and say, we won the first test, we can easily win the third test, you know, and why not? Strategically, they outthought the Springboks in the third. They've got to do that again because this physical battle is now, I think, honours even. You know, it's 50-50. So they're going to have to play a strategic game, and they're going to have to give 100 on their physicality. We'll see. But definitely all to play for, and definitely a battle of the minds for these great coaches.
Okay, I'm so glad you mentioned battle of the minds, because the other part which is so important in Test match rugby is emotion. You've got to say, it feels like the momentum is with South Africa. Emotionally, where do you think the Lions are, and how do you think they'll approach the game at the weekend? And the same could be said for the Boks as well.
Well, emotionally, it's interesting because, you know, all of the interaction I've had. Remember, sitting in the UK, I'm technically the outsider. We all love rugby, but in this series, I'm the outsider. So everyone's like, yeah, it's nice to have you, but we want to smash you 2-0. And so it's fantastic because that's banter with my mates, and you know, everyone on the streets going, oh, we're going to beat you 2-0. Now they're going, what's going to happen on the weekend? So there's that emotional sort of one step back, which I think is good for the game for the Springboks. But I also think these players are quality enough from the Lions' point of view and the coaching staff point of view to say, well, we've got a victory in the can. We just need one more. We just need our players to be out there for 80 minutes more and knock over the Springboks, and we've got the legacy of a lifetime.
Yes.
You know, South Africa are protecting something, the Lions are reaching for something. So those will be two different emotional parts.
Bobby, if the first two Test matches have kind of mirrored themselves in terms of gameplay and tactics, do you think we're to see anything different in the third?
Look, it's an arm wrestle. I mean, this has been really tough. You know, everyone's like, oh, they're not playing rugby. You know, South Africa, I think, have played more rugby. Caveat though, both of the South African tries, although they were lovely little kicks, you know, through and created the space, etc., they were both on advantage for a penalty. So I think what they're doing is they're saying, once you release the shackles, you've got advantage anyway. Well, let's run everything. So I think that's a good message. I'm sure Gats has said the same thing, because I did see the Lions shifting it when they had a penalty advantage. South Africa just had more of those advantages in the 22 where they could do that. So I don't think we're going to see much change in terms of the arm wrestle this weekend, but hopefully it's those little moments, those advantage moments if you want, where we see some great tries.
So Bobby, just to finish up, a three-pronged question. Key player, series results and score, but it does come with a disclaimer. The opinions of Bobby and I has no impact or bearing on what's going to happen on Saturday.
Look, I'm going to go hand on heart here. I think South Africa will have enough in the tank. I think it's going to be South Africa by 5 points. I can't say whether it's 22-17 or 17-12 or 30-25. But South Africa by 5 points, and I think the main architect of destruction on the weekend is going to be Andre Pollard.
Andre Pollard. Okay. Well, I think it's only fair that I should answer the same. I'm going to go a little bit rogue with this one. I'm going to say it's going to be 19-all, and we're going to get a split series just like what we did in 2017. The key player for the Lions this weekend, Dan Biggar. The 10s are going to be so crucial. So Bobby, there are predictions. You've gone for South Africa. I've gone for a draw just because I can, actually. But the only way we're really going to settle it is by a challenge. You beat me here and the Lions won. I then beat Schalt Brits and South Africa won, so I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I want to win because I'm proud, but equally there's a bigger picture at stake. But anyway, let's head to the oche.
I look forward to it.
Good man. So in episode 3 of Challenge Hugo in this Lions series, we have 3 darts a dartboard, and two, I was going to say willing enthusiasts. We're not, but we're told to play darts, so this is exactly what we're going to do. Bobby and I are going to answer some questions from the Lion series, and that scoreboard there on the darts board, these darts need to correlate to the answer. So are you ready?
I hope so.
Yeah, I haven't a clue whether I'm ready, but we're going to get into it. Are these the right size and weight? Just Flying Scotsman. There we are, the Flying Scotsman, Stuart Hogg. I'm going to go for 18. 2 is what I meant. Gosh. 14. Let's go 20. Just come on 20. 34!
Very good.
Oh my gosh! How have I fleet? I'll take 34.
34, okay.
Bobby.
Can we get a visual of the dart flying past the board, please?
20. That's 28.
8
Bobby.
to go. 8 to go. Come on.
You did 5. Bobby.
Oh!
Man, what a start! Second half was a little bit like the first test match, wasn't it? But that's okay. The minute of the first try was 44 by Mapimpi.
Yeah. So any combination for 44?
Okay, yeah.
3.
No, like what am I doing?
Triple 1. 3 and 3.
Oh, Bobby.
6. No. Not unbelievable.
I'd rather lose. And the Lions win. It's just how this show goes.
Oh, 5. Oh,
Bobby, surely.
I lost, but that means South Africa won. Congratulations.
That was hugely unimpressive from two of us.